All right, so supposedly the patch notes for the upcoming mid-season update for Marvel Rivals have been leaked online. And so today's video, we're going to go over all of the notes that are supposedly happening and seeing what all supposed to be changed and if they're even going to be accurate whenever the actual update drops this Friday. So just keep in mind, what we're about to read is not at all been confirmed. It could be changed drastically or it could be right on cue. You never know. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so up first we have Venom. It seems Venom's Frenzied Arrival ability now features an inward knockback at a specific angle, making it more effective in controlling enemy positioning. Additionally, the ultimate energy cost has been reduced to allow for more frequent usage. Frenzied Arrival has been changed from vertical knockback to an inwards knockback at a 75-degree angle, and his ultimate cost reduced from 2800 to 25. So it seems he got a little bit of a nerf, no, a buff, sorry, for his ultimate, right? Ultimate cost reduced, that's a buff. So he got a buff for his ultimate, so we can get that more often. And it seems his Frenzied Arrival, which I believe is his dive, it's like it doesn't get a buff, it's more of just like a change, where before it was a vertical knockback, it's now more going to be an inward knockback at a 75-degree angle. So I guess that's a pretty good update. Captain America's defensive utility has been improved, with Absolute Will now being usable while jumping. Additionally, his projectile attack Vibranium Energy Saw has been enhanced for better speed and effectiveness. They added the ability to use his Absolute Will for defense during jumping, and his Vibranium Energy Saw projectile speed increases from 60 meters a second to 80 meters a second. And then his ejection speed after a hit increased from 100 meters a second to 150. So it seems he got a bit of a buff, which I think is actually pretty good, because that's like the one consistent thing that I've seen a lot of people complain about is and make memes about is that Captain America is one of the worst, if not the worst, tank in the game. So I think this is probably, if this is true, this would be a pretty good update for him to, or a buff for him, sorry, to be a bit more viable. All right, so Thor's Rune Awakening ability no longer has a cooldown after its duration ends. Removed cooldown for the Rune Awakening skill duration ends. What is that? Hold on. All right, so Thor's Rune Awakening ability. I think it's right here. Okay, so it says F. Consume Thor Force to enter the awakened state. Okay. Okay, so this is how you get his awakened state. Oh, okay. So now, so it's saying basically, again, if this is accurate, it's saying they are removing the cooldown after the Rune Awakening skill duration ends. So does that mean we can like immediately use it afterwards again? If that's the case, that's a big buff, right? Thor's Rune Awakening ability no longer has a cooldown after duration ends. I think that means that you can use that like a lot now. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. I mean, again, I could be wrong, and again, this could be entirely wrong. But if I'm reading this correctly, and if my thought process on this is correct, it's basically saying whenever you use his F Awakening Rune to start using it like his little projectile lightning rod hits, I don't know what you would actually call those. It seems now after the ability ends, there will no longer be a cooldown. So you'll be able to use it again. If it's correct, you'll be able to use it immediately afterwards again. If that's the case, that's a pretty good big buff. I think it's a big buff, actually. All right, it says Groot's wall placement range has been slightly extended, allowing for better positioning and area control. Okay, that's a little bit surprising. So they increase his range of his wall placements by 3 meters, from 15 to 18 meters. I think it's a bit of a surprise. I don't really play Groot, but I've seen like really good Groot players be able to place those walls in the most annoying spots, like especially if I'm like a dive or a DPS character and I'm trying to get out of it. Giving him a bigger range on putting those walls, I think it's a pretty big buff. So W for you Groot mains. Magneto's primary attack has been buffed for more damage, but the energy cost of his curtain ability has been raised. Okay, so his primary attack it looks like it's gonna get buffed. Primary attack damage increases from 35 to 40. So they're giving him a 5-point damage buff for his primary attack. I think it's good. And then his curtain energy cost increases from 50 to 65. Now, I'm pretty sure this is, let's see. I think this is his shield. Is that his right click? Let me see. Curtain. Where is it at? Right here. Metallic curtain. Yeah, I think it's the metallic curtain. Or L shift, sorry. All right, so it seems now they are going to increase the cost for 50 to 65. Oh. Okay. So I guess it's a nerf for his shield. And then duration adjusted from 2 seconds to I think to 1.5 seconds. Oh, so they're nerfing that curtain a lot. and energy cost is 50 a second now, and they're increasing it to 65. So I think that's a pretty big nerf, I think, for him. So they're nerfing Magneto, his little shield that he has, but they're buffing his damage by 5. So I mean, I guess it's okay. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Doctor Strange base HP has been slightly reduced. Base HP lowered from 650 to 600. So they're nerfing his health by 50 points. Is what it is on that one. Not a big buff, not a big nerf. No buff for him. It's okay. Iron Fist. Looks like he's getting a pretty big change. Iron Fist has received multiple changes, including a higher base HP and stronger healing from Harmony Recovery. Oh god, why do they have to buff Iron Fist? However, some of his combo attacks have been toned down. All right, so his Harmony Recovery bonus HP provided increased from 50 to 150. Wow. That's a pretty hefty buff. With HP decay at 25 a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're like drastically buffing that move, or that ability, his Harmony Recovery. His Dragon Defense HP converted from his block increased from... Why are they buffing Iron Fist? Why are they buffing Iron Fist? I know I don't really see... you don't really see a lot of Iron Fist in the higher elo like games, but even when you do see him, he's just annoying to deal with, and they're buffing him. If this is true, this is going to be a big change. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more Iron Fist in this higher elo games. Base HP increased from 250 to 300. Jesus. Jeet Kune Do's first, second, and fifth attack damage reduced from 32 to 30, so they're nerfing that. Third and fourth damage reduced from 16 to 15, and then the sixth damage reduced from 55 to 50. So they're nerfing his little Jeet Kune Do move. The cooldown time of each hit to reduce the combo attack increased from 1 second to 1.5 seconds, and the damage of each hit of the Sun Punch decreased from 19 to 10. The cooldown time of each hit to reduce the combo attack increases. So they're kind of nerfing, I guess, the combo itself, but still, they're giving them all this extra buffs. It's kind of crazy. Each hit of the sun-shaped punch adds 1.7% of the opponent's maximum health as damage. This is insane. Why? I hope this isn't true. We haven't even gone through the list yet, but I'm hoping that this isn't true, because I don't think we need more Iron Fist in these higher elo games. Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic's flexible elongation ability now has a larger spell field and knocks enemies outward. His Brainiac bounce damage has been increased, but as a higher energy cost. So his flexible elongation spell field increased from 2.5 to 5 meters. Now knocks enemies outwards after landing. Charge increased from 8 to 10 seconds. Flexible elongation. Is that his? Let me see. All right, so his flexible elongation is his E. Gain a shield, select a target, and dash towards them, dealing damage to enemies and granting... Oh, that's his little pull thing he does. So they are increasing the spell field of it by 2.5 meters, and it's now going to knock enemies outwards after landing, and then they charge increased from 8 to 10 seconds. Okay, so they're buffing that. And then his Brainiac bounce, which is his ultimate, damage increased from 50 to 70. Oh, that's gonna suck. Energy cost increased from 28 to 34, but they made it a bit more. It's gonna be a bit longer to get that his ultimate back. And then damage fall off. Damage starts decaying at 3 meters and a max of 50. So they kind of changed it a bit, but it seems like they buffed it more than anything. I don't really use Mr. Fantastic, so if you use them, let me know in the comments what you think about this. If this again may not be true, but this is what they say it's going to happen. Iron Man. Iron Man's getting a fucking buff. Oh my god. Iron Man's Unibeam gets a power boost. His Unibeam damage increased from 120 second to 140 second. Oh my god. Armor Overdrive Unibeam increased from 180 to 190. So they're buffing Iron Man. That's good. All right, cool. As if flying characters weren't already annoying. All right. We're going to buff the one annoying one that we see the most. That's nice. All right, cool. Well, it seems like Iron Man's getting a buff. Hawkeye. Hawkeye's health is increased slightly, but his explosive arrow damage is reduced to balance things out. His ultimate now charges faster. Now, here's the thing. They gave Hawkeye a pretty substantial, nerf the last patch. I honestly didn't think they were going to mess with him anymore, but it seems like they're messing with him now. I think they're trying to bring him back, because I, hardly ever come across Hawkeyes now. So they're increasing his health from 250 to 275. They're giving him more health. But they're nerfing his explosive arrows. So the damage are now going to be decreased from 20 down to 15. And the spell damage, the spell field, which I guess is like the splash damage, is increased from 25 to 32. So they're kind of changing it but nerfing at the same time. His Crescent Slash cooldown decreased from 15 to 12 seconds. So that's, I guess, is okay. His little, when he brings out his katana to push you away, it now has a reduced cooldown, 12 seconds. And then his ultimate bow charge speed is accelerated. Draw speed increased from 1.2 to 135. So they're kind of buffing his ultimate, I guess, it seems. Bow charge speed is accelerated. Yeah, seems like it. All right, cool. Storm, is she getting a nerf? Storm range damage gets toned down slightly, but her team aura now provides a better boost. Her wind blade damage at 30 meters reduced from 70 to 60, so they're nerfing it. Her aura, or however you say it, self boost from 16 to 12%, team boost from 8 to 10. And then Goddess Boost Thunder, self boost damage increased from 30 to 25. Okay, so they're kind of nerfing her damage a little bit, but they're buffing like her. Like, I've always looked at Storm as more of like the support DPS character because she does good damage, and her last buff they did for her like really made her good. But she has that area of effect that can really help the teammates in terms of their speed as well as their damage. So it seems they're buffing that, which I think is pretty good. So I think I like that. I like that. Star-Lord, his ultimate is now more expensive, meaning it won't be used as frequently. His ultimate cost now increased from 12 to 18. Okay, cool. So I like that idea. His little legendary. It's been nerfed. All right, cool. So we're not going to see that as much. Oh shit! I meant to exit out of that. I don't want to see this. Thank you. So I guess we're not going to be seeing that buff or that his ultimate as much anymore. So I like that nerf. Scarlet Witch, Wanda's ultimate now gives a temporary HP boost on cast, but quickly decays if interrupted or ended. Her ultimate, 100 bonus health applied on cast, decays at 50 seconds after interrupted or ended. Okay, then I like this. So Scarlet Witch's ultimate is a big meme. I know across everybody, if you talk about Scarlet Witch, everybody knows her ultimate is just the biggest meme of all. As soon as you start hearing somebody using it, you're looking for her and you're trying to end her because it is the easiest, I think, of all of the ultimates in the game. Her ultimate is probably the hardest to actually pull off and do get kills with, because as soon as it pops off, everybody's looking for you and they want to kill you, and it takes so long for it to actually go off. So it seems they're giving her a bonus health once you actually apply this, so you may now be able to use it. I like this a lot. I like this. Spider-Man's web shooters received a buff and decreases the recharge time. So his web shooter's recharge time has been decreased from 3 to 2.5 seconds. It doesn't say what the buff on his web shooters are though. Oh no, that is the. I'm stupid. It decreases the recharge time. Okay, so they buff Spider-Man's web shooters. Okay, that's cool, I guess. Moon Knight. I hope he gets the nerf. Moon Knight's ultimate ability has received a significant nerf. I love it. So his ultimate, Khonshu's fist speed reduced, corrected the damage logic, removed 75 damage for being in the middle of the spell field. Each fist now does 150, up from 75 damage. So they nerfed his ultimate, which is good because they buffed his ultimate the last patch, the last big patch notes we had, and I think a lot of people have been talking about how good it is. So now they're nerfing back down his ultimate. So I like that. Black Widow. Black Widow's ultimate has also received a nerf. A nerf? What? Why are they nerfing Black Widow? Nobody even touched her. Why are you nerfing? But her rifle ammo capacity has been increased. Her ultimate will now slow down effect reduced from 80 to 55%. Oh my god. Why are we nerfing Black Widow? Okay, what are we doing? If this is true, what are we doing? Nobody uses Black Widow. I mean, like, people who use her, like, you either really, really suck with her or you're really, really good with her. There's no in between. But hardly ever do you come across a really good Black Widow player. Mainly because there's no reason to use her. Like, really and truly, there's no reason to use her. Out of all the other DPS ranged roster that we have, she is just not as good as anybody else. But now we're nerfing her ultimate. And then we're going to increase her rifle capacity from 8 to 15. Personally, I don't really see the reason for this change for Black Widow. If this is true, I just don't see it. She's already considered a meme character out of everybody who plays the game. Everybody knows she's one of the memeiest characters in the game. And I'm fairly certain, like, one of the most least picked characters in the game too. And we're going to nerf her ultimate? I don't like this idea. I don't like that at all. Magic, oh god, no. Magic's cost has been reduced with some tweaks in her abilities. Oh god, here we go. Her ultimate cost reduced from 37 to 400. Okay, so we get a buff in her ultimate. I like this. Eldritch Whirl, normal. What does that mean? Oh, you know what? I wonder if this is, I think it's just for, like, normal. I guess not. So not including her ultimate. Okay. So her Eldritch Whirl damage decreased from 45 to 40. Okay, so it's a 5-point difference. We'll see how big of a difference that really is. And then her Demon's Rage, sorry, her damage decreased from 80 a second to 72. I mean, I don't think it's a big nerf. I mean, the demons already do really good damage, and I hardly ever see anybody use the whirl in the first place. So like if you're using magic, you should really be using the demons more than anything. I hardly ever use their Eldritch Whirl unless I'm like using it to do her little combo she does, which is her portal Eldritch Whirl, combining it with her E, which is her dash, and that way you can close the distance and do damage in time. I don't see any reason why you should be using the Eldritch Whirl on its own for damage. This when you have the little demon, it's just no point. So that nerf, I don't really see big deal out of. Her Demon's Rage nerf, I mean, it's not a big nerf. 72 seconds is still a pretty decent amount. It's still a pretty decent amount. Again, if this is true, we'll see how big of a difference this really does. Hella's Soul Drainer ability seems to be getting a slight nerf. So her Soul Drainer damage fall off at 30 meters from 70 to 80%. This is unconfirmed. Well, all this is unconfirmed. What is her Soul Drainer ability? Let's see. Soul Drainer. Her E, which is the projectile, which doesn't that bring everybody close to it? Yeah, projectile explosive hail sphere to stun nearby enemies. Okay. So it seems that is getting a damage fall off at 30 meters from 70% to 80%. Okay. So a bit of a nerf on that one. And then we have Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock's Soul Bond ability receives a buff. His primary fire damage has also been increased. So his Soul Bond healing increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, and his primary fire damage increased from 55 to 60, with a 60% damage fall off at 40 meters, up from 50% damage fall off. So it seems like they're buffing Adam Warlock. I like this idea. I don't really see a lot of Adam Warlocks in the higher elo games. Like the three main healers you're going to see is CD, Cloak and Dagger, Luna, and Mantis. So those are like the three biggest healers you ever see in the higher elo. Hardly ever come across Adam Warlock or Jeff the Shark. But them buffing him, I'm hoping maybe changes it so we start seeing him a bit more. I like this idea. I like this though. If this is true, I think we'll start to see a bit more of Adam Warlock in those higher elo games. I like Adam a lot, mainly because him and Jeff are the only two healers. Yes? Yeah, they're the only two healers whose ultimate is not some area of effect making you invincible. You know, like CDs, Luna's, Mantis, like their ultimates are the exact same ultimate. They, as soon as you pop it, you cannot get kills from it. You just can't, unless you are like doing a one-shot damage or a one-shot kill, or sorry, one-shot combo with like magic or another character. You just can't kill them. So I like Adam Warlock and Jeff Shark just because they're different from the other healers. But if this is true, I think this would be a pretty good change, and maybe we can start seeing a bit more of Adam Warlock, which I think would be a nice little change. Speaking of, CD's ultimate cost has been increased with a bunch of tweaks and updates to her abilities. Okay. So her ultimate cost increased from 34 to 4,000. Now that's a pretty hefty change, which I think I kind of like a lot, because I'm fairly certain, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure CD's ultimate is like the fastest charging ultimate in the game. I'm fairly certain I'm correct about that. So I like that. This will mean we won't be getting her ultimate as much in games, or as often, sorry. And then it seems her dash lanes, fog that heals, which is her ultimate, I think, right? Is that what that is? Pretty sure that's what that means, yeah. This is the duration will be reduced from 10 to 8 seconds. Okay, so they're nerfing the ultimate. Pause between the dashes reduced from 1 to 0.67 seconds. So pause between dashes reduced. So I guess that means that they're going to be dashing a lot faster, right? Pause between dashes reduced. Yeah. So they are going to be dashing faster. The healing effect of the dash lanes no longer stacks. Only one lane works when overlaid on each other. Okay, first off, I didn't even know they stacked. I thought it was just the same. Okay, I never knew that, but okay, cool. I guess it's something I learned today. So they no longer stack. If you knew that, I guess that's a pretty big L. And then her Terra Cape. Vulnerability on enemies increased from 20 to 28%. So they're actually buffing her Terra Cape, which I do believe, fairly certain that's Dagger's E that he throws out. Let me see. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's why. It is a Z. Okay, okay. Terror Cape. So Terror Cape's vulnerability to enemies increased from 20 to 28%. So yeah, so they're buffing Cloak's Terror Cape. So they'll do 28% more damage now. Okay, so I like that. That's a pretty good change. I like. So they're gonna nerf her. They're gonna nerf her their combo or their ultimate, but they're gonna buff Cloak's little Terror Cape, which I like that change. Okay, if this is true, this is a pretty big W, I think. Luna Snow. Luna Snow's ultimate ability cost has been increased. Okay, so her ultimate cost increased from 4 to 45,000. So just like CDs, they're going to make it to where you won't see her ultimate as often as well. So that's a pretty good change. I like that. I mean, honestly, unless they like drastically change the way these ultimates work, when it comes to Luna Snow, CDs, and Mantis's ultimate, there's not much that they can really do aside from making it to where you get to use it as often. Again, unless they change their ultimates very drastically, which I kind of do hope they do eventually. There's just not much they can do. So this is pretty good change. Loki's ultimate ability cost has now been increased. He also has received a buff for his ammo. So its ultimate cost increased from 34 to 4,000. Okay, so you won't see it as often. And then ammo increased from 10 to 12. So they gave him 2 extra rounds of his ammo. Okay, I like that. Mantis, here we go. Mantis's bonus health has been reduced. So her ultimate bonus HP reduced from 100 to 75. So they're nerfing her now. So the ultimate bonus HP reduced. I don't really use Mantis all that often, so I'm assuming whenever you pop her ultimate, she gets an HP boost. Well, now you get 75 rather than 100. So I guess that's nice. Invisible Woman's ultimate ability cost has been increased. So just like with Luna and CD and Mantis, like I said, unless they drastically change their ultimate, the only thing that they can really do is just increase the how often or decrease how often you see their ultimate throughout the game. So they're increasing the ultimate cost for her. So I like that. It seems like that's it. And then we got some team up abilities. So now we have Gamma, which is the Unibeam damage nerfed. So Hulk's HP gained from being an anchor reduced from 150 to 100. Gamma, I think this is with Hulk. What is it? Hulk, Doctor Strange, and I believe Iron Man. So it seems Unibeam damage nerf. So Hulk's HP gained from being an anchor reduced from 150 to 100. So they're nerfing the Gamma team up ability. Sonic Disc. That's Magic's, Black Panthers, and Psylocke. So teleport time reduced from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Bonus health conversion increased from 0.5 to 0.8. So they are buffing that, right? Teleport time reduced. Yeah. Okay, so they're giving that a buff. Okay, so I like this. They're buffing that. Obviously, maybe a Magic player. This doesn't really benefit me per se, but it will benefit my Psylocke and Black Panther teammates. So this will be nice. Full Moon, now 25-second healing effect, unconfirmed. I believe this is I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's CDs and Moon Knights. So now it seems, if this is unconfirmed, which again, all of this is really unconfirmed, but it seems now that Moon Knight will now have a 25 healing effect per second while being in his little team up ability change with the Cloak and Dagger. So that'd be a pretty drastic change right there. Pretty big buff, I think. Symbiote Bond. So this believe is Venom, Spider-Man, and Penny. Skill time reduced from 4 seconds to 1 second. 50% damage reduction is removed, and then complete invincibility added. That's a change right there. So this is a buff, I believe, for those 3 characters. So that's okay. And then Frozen Chi. I'm pretty sure this is Luna Snow's and Nemours team up. It seems healing increased from 50 to 75, so I'm pretty sure that's on Luna's side. She would now have increased healing. It's a pretty big buff. And then enemy slow effect increased from 20-30%. Jesus, now this sucks for anybody who's a dive character like myself. I play a lot of Magic. This sucks really bad because Nemours already a pain in the ass and a really good counter for all dive characters, especially when he's teamed up with Luna, because he now has that frozen turret, whatever you want to call it, whenever he's teamed up with Luna, but that will also now slow you down. But now they're increasing that by 30%. or by 10%. Sorry. So that's a pretty big change, pretty big buff. And that seems to be it. So yeah, there you go. That's the unconfirmed leaked patch notes for the upcoming mid-season update coming out Friday. So we'll see exactly what all is true and what's not. Like I said, if I had to say what I hope is not true, really quick, well, what I hope is true, I do like the changes on the healers. I liked it all. I like the, like I said, unless they drastically change their ultimate abilities and what they do, there's not much they can really do for the change on Luna, Mantis, or CD, other than or even Invisible. I'm sorry, other than what they did now, which is basically just increase the amount of times, or sorry, I can't talk. Other than increase the energy cost, thus making it to where we won't see their ultimates as often in a game. So this is a pretty good change. I like that. This one, I mean, I'm a Magic main, so this kind of sucks for me, but I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. They reduced her ultimate, which I like a lot. It means we're going to be able to use it more often. They nerfed her Eldritch Whirl, which again, you shouldn't really be using it when you have the option of the demon. And then they nerfed the demon's damage by, what is that, 8 seconds, right? Or 8 seconds, 8 points damage. So that's not that big of a difference, I don't think. So we'll see on that one. I don't like this. This right here, I think is just okay. Well, you get my point. I'm trying to get Black Widow. Black Widow's change. I don't understand this. I just don't. If this is true, there is no reason to be nerfing. If anything, you need to be buffing Black Widow. Nobody uses her, so that's pointless. I like Scarlet Witch's change. I like this a lot because now you'll be able to possibly use her ultimate now. So I like that. I don't like Iron Man. I'm hoping this isn't true. The Iron Man buff, I don't think anybody needs that. Like I said, flying characters are already annoying as is. We only have 2. We're about to have 3 though, because we're about to get Johnny Storm with this update, I believe. So I'm hoping this one isn't true. If you are a Iron Man main, you let me know if you think this is a fair buff or if it's even necessary. This right here is the biggest thing. I'm really hoping, out of everything in this patch notes, I'm really hoping that this one is not true. Iron Fist being buffed, I don't think anybody asked for, like, at all. And I definitely don't think we need it. But we'll see how this one works. That's the one I really hope is not true. And then, yeah, that's about it. That's about the biggest change. Captain America making a comeback, seems, if it's true. I think I have a pretty good update for him. But yeah, so yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about these updates, what you think is true, what you think is not true, what you would think should happen for today's for this Friday's update. You let me know what you think should be changed for each character or which character or whatever the case may be. And yeah, we'll see what happens on Friday. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe. And don't forget to smile today because it will make your day and every day around you brighter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.